If you're months or even years out from ACL surgery and your knee still hurts, this video is for you. And I'm going to say something that might be uncomfortable, but it's important. In most cases, it's not your surgery that failed, it's the steps that were skipped in your rehab. Now, before you get frustrated, I want you to hear this clearly. This is not your fault. You're not supposed to know how to properly rehab an ACL, but it is your responsibility to make sure you're getting the right help. Because ongoing pain and swelling long after surgery usually isn't just part of the process. It's your knee communicating that something isn't right. And the truth is, a perfect surgery means nothing without high quality rehab. And who guides that rehab can quite literally make or break your recovery. After working with hundreds of people after ACL surgery, there are clear patterns that I see. And today, I'm breaking down the 4 most common reasons why your knee still hurts months to years after surgery. Before we dive in, let's clear something up. Pain during ACL recovery is normal. Pain is your body's alarm system, and it doesn't automatically mean that something is damaged. Think of it as feedback. Your body saying, hey, something here isn't agreeing with me. So pain months or years after surgery, is that always a red flag? Not necessarily, but it can be a signal that something important is being missed. And that's why working with an ACL specialist, someone who actually understands this process, matters. They help translate what your knee is telling you. So let's get into the 4 reasons. This is the most common reason that I see. Long-term knee pain often comes back to a weak or incomplete foundation. So first off, ask yourself, do you have full symmetrical knee range of motion? Do you have sufficient strength in all major leg muscles? And this should be measured with numbers so you're sure. Is your movement clean and high quality, or are you still compensating? Do you still have lingering swelling even months later? Has your rehab actually considered your specific graft type? And have you followed a structured progression that gradually exposes your knee to higher forces? If any of these are missing, your knee is probably not going to be happy at some point along your recovery. Most of these problems trace back to early rehab mistakes. And here's the analogy I use with my online clients. Trying to progress without these milestones is like building a mansion on quicksand. It doesn't matter how hard you work later, the foundation won't support it. So yes, those last few degrees of motion matter. Your graft choice matters. And that lingering swelling isn't your friend. If you want to learn how to build a bulletproof foundation in the first 3 months after ACL surgery, I'll link a video in the top corner and also in the description below. This one always comes down to proper testing and programming. One of the most common things I hear from new clients is, I was told I can start running because it's been 12 weeks. I was told to get off crutches because it's been 5 weeks. I was told I could return to whatever activity because it's been some amount of time since surgery. And here's the problem with that. Time from surgery alone does not equal readiness. People recover at different rates, and not all rehab is created equal. So how does an arbitrary timeline automatically mean that everyone will be ready at that time? The truth is, most people are never formally tested, and their program never actually prepares them for the forces of running, jumping, or sport. Let me give you a real example here. One of my online clients came to me 11 months post-surgery, and he had been cleared to play soccer. But every time he played, his knee blew up like a balloon, and he had pain and stiffness that took 3 days to calm down. This cycle went on for 2 months. On our first call, he told me, I know it's not strength. We worked hard in PT, and I'm in the gym 4 times per week. My squat is up to 300 pounds now. Now, once I got his knee to calm down, I strength tested him. His quad strength on the surgical side was 71% of his non-surgical side. That's a 29% deficit, and he was playing soccer. That's not just a pain issue. That's a second ACL injury waiting to happen. A weak quad hides very well in exercises like squats. That's why testing is non-negotiable. If we don't test, we guess. And guessing is what keeps people stuck or injured again. If you want a full breakdown on these 7 essential tests you actually need to pass to fully recover, I'll link that in the video above and in the description. Even if your knee is ready for what you're asking it to do, bad programming can still cause pain. Consider this example. Imagine a healthy person, no knee injuries, strength trains regularly in the gym, eats well, recovers well. She decides to train for a 5K race. She hasn't ran consistently in over a year, but she thinks, I'm fit, I'm in good shape, I'll start with a mile and a half, and then I'll build up from there. 1 week later, her knees start bothering her. Why? Because the body doesn't like big, sudden changes, right? It needs structured acclimation. And that period can look different to everybody. Programming has to consider training history, injury history, goals, time constraints to achieve that goal, life stress, work, family, recovery. All these things matter. Now add an ACL surgery into the equation and you can see why a strategic plan is needed. Good rehab isn't just about what you do, it's about how, when, and how quickly you progress. This is the one that people jump to first as a reason for their pain, but it's actually less common than you might think. Most of the time, it's one or more of the first 3 reasons covered in this video, because most of the time, your surgery didn't fail. It was your rehab that failed you. It failed to rebuild a knee that's strong, resilient, and prepared for an active lifestyle. But with that said, structural issues can definitely happen and they do require medical evaluation. Issues like cyclops lesions, excessive scar tissue formation, arthrofibrosis, meniscus irritation or injury, graft failure, or any other tissue involvement can definitely be a source of symptoms and declined function. A quality rehab provider should be able to identify when further medical assessment is needed, and they will refer you to your surgeon when appropriate. At this point, you should have a much clearer understanding of why your knee still hurts and what likely needs to be addressed. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and share with someone who this could help. And if you're tired of spinning your wheels, if you're doing all the right things, but still not confident in your knee, and you want a specialized ACL-focused team that you can trust, head to the description and book a free call with me. We'll identify the exact bottleneck in your recovery and create a clear game plan to get you back to the activities that you love. Strong, confident, and pain-free. I'll see you on the next video.